Hello YouTube, welcome to another video. Today I am bringing BY Luffy into a local event. My round matchup is going to be against Sabo. He decides to go first, giving me the even curve, and he decides to search out with Garp to begin his turn. And luckily I have a Garp of my own, so I can search for a Three Brothers character card. And when it comes to BY Luffy, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't feel bad going first or second, either is fine, but I prefer to go second just so I can have an extra draw. And I love to see it. My opponent spends one Dawn to play the Nami that takes a rested Dawn and attach it to any character leader. He just racks up and swings 8, and I just take. BY Luffy doesn't mind taking hits as long as we're able to safely get down to 0 so we can pull our combo pieces off. And I'm not too familiar on playing against a Sabo, so I'm just doing a little poke, swing 5 with Garp, and swing 5 with Luffy. Unfortunately he hits a Neko trigger, so he starts to get a wider board. While my opponent starts off swinging Garp to Garp, hate to see it. Garp on Garp violence. And my opponent plays another Neko down and uses Nami ability and decides to swing for 7, which I'm happy to take. Right now I just want to dig for a Sabo. Unfortunately, got the wrong Sabo, so I decided to just pick him up because my options were so plentiful in hand. But yeah, I like this Sabo because it's a really good way to get rid of certain cards that are on board. In my head, mainly like Kuzans, as well as a good way to get down lower to life. And I just played the Luffy just so I can use his ability to trash a card, to draw a card, to increase my advantage. Hopefully next turn I can get down to 0 so I can start doing my combos and increasing my leader's attack. Here, my opponent does something very interesting. I believe he attaches 5 Dawn to the Neko, so having a total power of 10. And he decides to swing 10 into my buffed up Luffy, which I do just let go, just because I can bring it back from trash. And I don't want to start losing my 2Ks and 1Ks just because they're so important right now. And then he uses his leader ability, buffering up his other Neko to 7. And I believe he starts to be more aggro, swinging 7 with his leader I take. And then another 7 here, which I counter out with a 2 and a 1. I'm not at 10 Dawn yet, so I just have that Gekimoria. in hand, just getting ready until I hit that 10 Don turn. I start off with leader ability, bringing in the Ace and the Luffy, just because those are the little baby versions I have in my hand. And a lot of times I get the Ace and the Luffy mixed up just because they look so similar, because they're both wearing orange. So right here I'm saying I'm using Luffy ability, so my Luffy's at 8k. And I'm swinging 9, I believe at the Neko. And then because I used Ace and Luffy, I can swing another, my leader's at 9k, so I'm swinging 11 at the Neko. I'm just trying to control the board at this point. So I have a lot of cards in hand, so I'm in a really comfortable position. My leader is a 9k leader, but he plays Karasu and drops me to 8k. Here he uses Nami's ability to put the Rested Dawn onto his character. And I'm a little worried, just because I don't see the black Sabo to, 1, protect my board, and 2, just to cycle and be able to look for cards that I want in the trash and more Gekomorias. Right here my opponent swings for 11, which I forget that I'm my 8k leader, so it just takes 2 2ks out of my hands, and he passes his turn, hoping to top draw a Sabo. Let's see what happens. Oh, money. And here I'm just looking at my trash just to see if I have any other combo pieces in there. I'm just looking for if there's a baby Sabo, which I have one in my hand. So right now I'm just trying to figure out how do I play this black Sabo and Gekomoria. Y'all tell me if this was the right path that I chose, but I decided to just play the Sabo straight up, just so I can draw 2, pitch 2, just to see if there's any other further pieces that I can add to my trash. And since I have the Gekomoria, I just thought that I can play that, I can just do a Gekomoria turn the following turn. Just being pretty aggressive, I use leader ability. Deciding to pitch a Luffy, since I already have one in my hand. Because I have that Gekomoria as well, I feel pretty comfortable pitching my little ones. I don't want to play that Sabo in particular, so I just using the leader ability once. And the great thing about Luffy is I don't have to go down to 0 life. I have double Luffys, and if I want to, I can use their ability to pitch that last life to get down to 0 to redo the combo. Right here, I'm swinging, I'm a 7k leader with 3 Dawn, so I'm swinging 10 at their life, and he takes and goes down to 0. And I have that Sabo in my life, so it's like a pseudo blocker, so I can take a hit. Sure, it goes to the bottom of the deck, but I don't think I'll be utilizing that Sabo this game. So my opponent dons 2 to his Neko, swinging 7 into my leader, which I counter out, wanting to save that blocker for maybe a bigger swing. I'm okay with pitching the Sabo because if anything I can Kekomoria the following turn. He uses 1 dot and brings the Neko back into his life, and he buffs his Karasu into a 7k, and when he swings with his Karasu, he drops my leader from a 7 to a 6. And I just counter with a 2k, and I'm starting to feel like I should have pitched the Kekomoria a lot earlier. Because it's not looking like I'm going to be able to utilize it. But I'm still okay. I still have 1 life, and I still have a blocker on board. My opponent plays Rush Luffy, and he uses the Nami ability to swing 7 again at my leader, and I just take it because I know the next attack he's going to do. I can just block with Sabo, and at this point just telling me that he misplayed and he should have swung with his leader and swung with the Luffy last to give himself the best chance of lethal, which I agree. His ordering was kind of backwards, but he was able to recognize what he did, and I just block. And a part of me wants to go for the Kekomoria play, but before anything, I use Luffy ability, swing 8. Just so I can check to see how many counters he has in hand. He decides to counter out with the 0 cost event with the 1k. And I have another Luffy, so I swing another 8, which he counters out, gives me 2 2ks. With 1 card in hand, I swing 7. And then for game, I jam for 15. GG's.